If you know me, you'll know that I'm obsessed with sleep. So I pulled together my top 10 tips to help you sleep better. Now, I don't expect you to be able to implement all 10 of these tips every night, but when we focus on one at a time, I think you'll be surprised with just how much better your sleep feels and how much more energy you have throughout the day. Our society kind of glorifies lack of sleep, but in reality, some of the most high-achieving people in the world are people who prioritize it. We have 5 factors of health: exercise, nutrition, mental, relationships, and sleep. We can debate all day which of these factors is most important, but I'll cut to the chase. It's sleep. When we don't prioritize sleep, the other 4 factors get completely out of whack. It's just so important. So, without further ado, let's get to my 10 sleep tips. Tip number 1, aim for 8 to 10 hours of sleep. We can work to make our sleep more efficient, but nothing is as important as just getting enough of it. There's a special group of people who can function properly on 6 hours of sleep. You may even identify as one of these people, but the stats show that that is less than 3% of the population. So don't trick yourself into thinking that 6 hours of sleep is healthy for you. Number 2, avoid caffeine after 3 p.m. Depending on how you metabolize caffeine, it usually has a half-life of 5 hours. That means there are still probably traces of caffeine in your system up to 10 hours after your last cup of coffee. And caffeine has huge effects on the quality of your sleep. Tip number 2.5. On a similar note, alcohol screws up your sleep cycles and greatly reduces the amount of deep and REM sleep you get throughout the night. It may help you fall asleep, but it's super detrimental from there. Number 3. Don't drink liquids 3 hours before bed. Waking up in the middle of the night to pee greatly affects your sleep cycles. If you need to wake up to pee every night, like me, consider using a nightlight in the bathroom so you don't have to turn on the overhead light, which can signal your body that it's time to wake up for the day. Tip number 4, go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. Our bodies are creatures of habit. One of the best ways to get quality sleep is to keep the same bed and wake up time, even on the weekends. Tip number 4.5, research shows that humans get the most deep sleep between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., you'll get most of your REM sleep between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Going to bed past 10 p.m. is cutting down some of our most efficient and valuable sleep time. There's nothing we can really do about this. Our circadian rhythm is so strong even when we fight against it. Our bodies want to go to bed when it's dark and wake up when it's light. But it's even deeper than that. I could shut you in a pitch black cave for a month and your body would still naturally want to sleep between 10 and 6. I'm not kidding. People have actually done it. Look up Nathaniel Kleitman to learn more. Tip number 5. Ideal room temperature for sleep is a nice 62 to 68 degrees. We're trying to make it the f***ing tundra. Number 6. Even the smallest amount of light from an alarm clock or street lamp can affect your sleep. Try and make your room as dark and as soundproof as possible. I like using blackout blinds, a sleep mask, and a fan for some white noise. Number 7. Something to think about. Sleeping with a partner makes your sleep efficiency so much worse. Guess it's time to go back to 2 double beds. No, but actually, Jared and I have separate duvets, and it's made a huge difference. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Number 8. One of the best ways to improve sleep is through exercise. Try to avoid it before bed, but this is the one I notice the most. My sleep is noticeably worse on days that I skip the gym. Sleep tip number 9. Ariana Huffington takes a bath every night before bed. And as an avid bath lover, I strongly support this claim. Ultimately, making any kind of ritual before bed is a great way to signal to your body to wind down. And finally, number 10, turn off screens an hour before bed. I struggle with this so much, but I have the data. When I decide to read for 45 minutes before bed instead of watching TV or looking at my phone, my sleep quality improves by something like 20%. This is so important, and the best way to do it is to leave screens out of the bedroom. So, let's talk about the risks of not getting enough sleep. Bad sleep increases your risk of Alzheimer's, high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, obesity, low sex drive, diabetes, and depression. People treat sleep deprivation as though there are no long-term side effects at all. Sleep is when your body recovers from workouts and encodes information. Lack of sleep releases the hunger hormone that leads to overeating. When we're irritable from only getting 5 hours of sleep, our mental health is seriously affected and our relationships are strained. Sleep affects every factor of health. In the sleep tips, I talked about deep sleep and REM sleep, and I want to dive in a bit here. When I look at my sleep, yes, the total time matters, but what matters even more is how much deep sleep I'm getting and how much REM sleep I'm getting. Deep sleep is when the body repairs and regenerates tissues and strengthens our immune system. If you're trying to lose weight or make gains, it's going to be really tough if you're not getting enough deep sleep. Most of our HGH, or human growth hormone, is released during this time, so we kind of need to do everything we can to maximize our deep sleep potential. REM sleep is when our bodies learn and create new memories, saving the information of the day and getting our brains ready for the next. Look at this graph of our sleep cycles throughout the night. If you look here, you'll see that in the beginning of the night, we have a lot of deep sleep and a small amount of REM sleep. As the night progresses, your deep sleep decreases and your REM sleep increases. So why is this important? This means that when you shortchange your sleep, say you wake up at 4 a.m. instead of 6 a.m., get 6 hours of sleep instead of 8, you're not just missing 25% of your sleep need, you're also missing something like 75% of your REM sleep, effectively not allowing your brain enough time to encode memories from the previous day or prime your brain for the next day. On the flip side, if you go to bed at midnight instead of 10 p.m., because our circadian rhythms are so strong, even if you sleep in to get 8 hours of sleep, there's a good chance you're going to miss out on most of your deep sleep, effectively not giving your brain enough time to release HGH and recover and rebuild muscle tissue. Shortchanging your 8 hours of sleep on either side has huge effects on your health. And when I told Jared about this, he said he'd rather not know, because worrying too much about perfect sleep is pointless. Perfect sleep is not going to happen. Things are going to come up to take you off your schedule. You're going to have good and bad days of sleep. But I'm a big believer that knowledge is power. I'm not telling you this information so that you can make good decisions around sleep 100% of the time. But if this information makes you improve your sleep by 5%, that's a huge win. If your goal is to lose weight, getting quality sleep is the first step. If you're looking to gain muscle, quality sleep is the first step. Sleep is weird for me to talk about because I get pretty serious anxiety about not getting enough of it. When I think about only getting 5 to 6 hours, I get so anxious because I know I'm going to be miserable the next day. There's no way that I will always get even 90% sleep quality. Life happens, but by making my sleep a priority, my daily satisfaction improves dramatically. I think that some people think they're going to be missing everything by going to bed early. And honestly, I think about missing the whole next day when I go to bed late. Not only is early morning my most productive time, but the whole next day is so much better when I get a full night of sleep. It can be pretty simple. To maximize deep and REM sleep, we need 8 hours of sleep and no screens 45 minutes before bed. So I want you to give this a try and let me know in the comments how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you, and if it was, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. I will see you next time.